Okay, hey everybody. This is Grace. I am on my way to get us some chicken. We sure like chicken. That started around 2021. Somebody was getting rid of something. Hopefully that's what they do. But anyway, 2021, and that was pretty much all that we ever ate as far as something out was chicken. Church's chicken. Anyway, this video, I'm going to talk about what happened last night. Today, by the way, is Friday the 13th in October. Yes, October. I don't know about any of the rest of you, but I can remember since I was a teenager, since I was 18, 17, 18. Oh no, I was 18. And that when it was October, it was Friday the 13th in October, that was especially scary because of the movies. I don't even know if they're still make these movies, Friday the 13th, and the other one, Halloween, with Jason, was it? See, I don't watch scary movies. No thank you. But I remember that's when I think they started making both of them, maybe. It was back when I was a teenager. Anyway, I could be wrong. I could remember the names wrong, but that's pretty much easy. Friday the 13th and Halloween. So, anyway, so I told Adam, we went last night for the dinner and the late dinner. People like late dinner here in my zone for doing the food deliveries. Now, I mainly go to the restaurants, pick up their food, and deliver them. Now, I tried the shop and pay, didn't really like it because so many of them, I'd get to the store and they wouldn't have everything, or they wouldn't have any of it, or it was expired, these kinds of things. And one day I had 3 in one day. And one day. And that was the last time I did them. That was recently. I said, no more, thank you. Don't want that. I'm wasting my time driving all the way across town and to get it, and they don't have what it is, so no thanks. Plus, right before that, I did have one that was kind of a little on the spooky side. Seriously, the guy wanted a special kit. I'll leave the name out of it, from a CVS, and some ice cream or something, and got to his house. Nice neighborhood overall. People kept their homes really nice and everything. We're talking like working class or middle class homes. They kept their neighborhood. Not him. His opinion and his view on everything was well displayed, very displayed, and plenty of Bubba trucks. And it was creepy the way he had them positioned. And there was a floodlight, at least one hooked up. I'm thinking they're floodlights. These are big lights, and I don't know. I'm looking at my steering wheel. That'd probably be the best way to do it. Imagine my steering wheel square. Okay. That size. And, right in front where it was pointing, he was on the curb. The curb, I guess it was a cul-de-sac or something like that, where people can turn around right there too, but it's not exactly a cul-de-sac, but so strike the cul-de-sac. But anyway, and yet it pointed like it could be 3 houses, maybe 3 or 4 houses would be blinded by this light, and all in a boat. All of it was just no, and the door was kind of hidden, and I would have to go walk through these Bubba trucks. There was a small space in between the Bubba trucks and the boat, and walk through that, and then the little maze to get to his door if nobody would see me from the street. I said, I don't think so. So I left it at the boat, took a picture. He took my tip away. It wasn't much. It wasn't like he was giving me a whole lot. I don't know what people think that gives them so much power. But really, I guess they do. If you had legitimate reasons, yeah, but because I didn't put it on your door, which was hidden amongst all this stuff, Anyway, but one last night was it was creepy in its own sense, but at the same time, that weird looking bird up there. Why are these birds up here going on? What's going on here? But crows. It's Friday the 13th. I'm going to be spooked. I don't believe in these kinds of things, so I shouldn't say that while I'm driving down the road. And there are people going crazy driving. But anyway, last night we went to do these, and it was the third order that out of 3 you do 3, you get an extra $6, something like that. And it was the third last in our totally last order that we were going to take. Look, $2.95 the gas. $2.95 here in Texas. Wow, it's nice. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned this. I went to get gas, and as I go up there to get gas, I wound up having to go way down there because there was so much noise in front of the ones closest to the racetrack store here where I am. And so I went down to the end, one of those down there, and sure enough, I'm out there by myself. Sure enough, a big old Bubba truck. I mean, there has to be a Bubba truck involved in something. And they're white. Okay, they're not always old. They could be new, but they're gonna have the king cab. They're way up high on big wheels usually. And if you're driving at night and one of them gets behind you, good luck. Yeah, they're gonna be tailgating and they're gonna have the brights on. This is my experience lately with doing all these these deliveries. And usually I've seen them since I was a child, and I'm 60 years old, but usually they were out in the country or, something like that. But yeah, they infiltrated the city. Kind of tongue-in-cheek here a little bit. But no, generally, if I'm going to have something that's going to be annoying on the road, it's going to be somebody in a Bubba truck. Now, that does not mean that it's, a lot of people stereotype what that, this is all one, isn't it, when it really comes to it? Because if I left it there, it would be. But it's not. It's not always. It's not always. So strike any always, I say. But it's most often a white, big truck. And it's often a guy. Some think it's often men who are white, like me. I'm white. Okay. Classified. I never liked using colors to describe somebody. Seriously. And plus, my degrees are in psychology and sociology, and a master's in sociology, and we were taught not to do that at all. Don't say white, don't say black, don't say brown, on and on. No. You don't call them by race, it's ethnicity. So there. Okay, but as far as Bubba trucks, it doesn't have to be white. Like just what happened after this one pulled up next to me, and it was a white guy, and I was like, oh my gosh. The way he looked over at me and the way he was, and I'm like rolling my eyes. And I hid behind one of those big things that holds the awning up. Yeah. Like, I am not dealing with this today. Not dealing. But then I drove, to come up here and park, because it was way over there, way far. You can't see over there. But, sure enough, here comes a police officer in the other direction in their SUV. Police officers around here drive SUVs. And they were coming he was coming toward me on his side, on his line. Sure enough, there were two Bubbas, not both white like me. Just one of them was standing in that lane, my lane. Okay, standing right in the middle, having a chit chat. Never known them to be all that bright. So, I know I'm being mean, but truthfully, these are the people who at nighttime they're going to do this. One of them, one time, Adam. Adam's always with me at nighttime whenever I go delivering, but Adam was terrified. He might not have admitted it, but he was. And I think he does it because, if something happened, he feels men would automatically go toward him, to try to cause some problem if, something happened, like a wreck or something. And instead of me, woman, and I would fear me. I would fear me. Seriously. Don't mess with me, man. Don't mess with me. Like I said, tongue in cheek, a little bit. But, yeah, I'm very protective of people. Myself and other people. I mean, I've never really had to use it. I just walk up and I'm cutting it off from a woman who's driving a Bubba truck next to me. Seriously. She's a Bubette. I can tell by the way she's dressed. I'm having fun with this. I'm like I said, tongue-in-cheek kind of sort of. But I wonder who she's going to pull out in front of. Because, they own the road. Yeah. But anyway, no. I'm not stereotyping. I'm talking about the ones I have seen, the ones I've had experiences with. That was a joke, that one. But it is a woman. And anyway, but the guys in the road, and the way that other one looked at me, this kind of experience, yeah, it doesn't lead to me thinking anything good, about them. Just stop being obnoxious, really, and thinking that like women are on the planet for you to look at and look up and down and all this stuff, and okay, what did that guy bringing into that store? It was big. Maybe it's he goes and refills some big, huge jug, kind of like moonshine jugs, from what was it? Clampets. What was that show? They show the moonshine jug, but his was black. So I guess he goes in there and fills it up with soda. Nice. Anyway. But why am I talking about this subject? Yeah, well, I was going toward what happened last night, and there were these two, and that's what I call them. I'm going to call them. There were two white Bubba trucks, and one of them actually had a, what is it? What are they called? Anyway, they were parked in a very narrow road, very narrow neighborhood, right next to one another, not behind. Right next to one another, making the very small space for people to go through. I have a I don't know what size you'd call this, SUV. It was very tight, and my SUV drives for me to make sure I don't hit anybody, through something like that, or around curves and all that. But still, it was too tight, and one of them had a trailer, like I said, and the trailer was kind of a little bit out, didn't park it that great. And Adam goes, who thinks like that? To park them side by side like that. We had to pass it going in and pass it coming out, and the whole road was so narrow, and so many people parked on the street. These neighborhoods, I don't like it where I live. Those people, and they're wider than these other ones. Seriously, they're wider. Those may have been built the time before all these big trucks, or well, no, not the big trucks, but the SUVs and such. They're very narrow. Okay, I'm waiting for you to leave, woman, before I leave. No chance in it. Yeah. But she's texting. She's texting somebody. Anyway, but what happened last night? Well, I guess she's not going to leave. She's too busy in her text. I really don't like being around them. I don't. After my experiences with so many. I've done I'd say around 300 now deliveries. I would say around that. And it's always here in driving around, no matter which city, which suburb of Dallas, and there will be the Bubba trucks that will get behind me or try to push me off the road. Hurry, I'm in a hurry and you're on my road. Yeah. That's what I was going to say about last night, was going through that road, like I said, the ones with the Bubba trucks on both sides, getting through there, finally getting through there, and then going to the house to deliver. Very dark night last night. or at least it was in that neighborhood. It was so dark. Unbelievably dark. I don't think I've seen it that dark before, tell you the truth, outside. And Adam, he goes, he's older than I. He goes with me at nighttime, like I said, for safety reasons. And he just likes to get out and do stuff, because he works from home. He's an electrical engineer / computer scientist. And I could go on from there. But, so he likes to get out. Well, he got out there because it was dark. And he usually, I'm going to try to insert somewhere here after this clip, hopefully. Probably won't. I'll probably put somewhere else. But this little flashlight, and I don't like the look of it, to be out at night, a man going to somebody's house through their front door, using that. You might get when you see it. And this is the one and only time I recall he didn't have it with him. When he jumped out, got this stuff to go deliver it himself, and I'm like, dude, no. And I have to go and take a picture anyway. So I was trying to get it, and it was already gone. And he didn't tell me. I thought he just brought the sodas because they were the size of them and all. And there was one really huge one and one just almost as huge. The next size. I mean, they were big. And anyway, so he'd already gone through there. Well, it was a maze to get to the front door. And the woman didn't have the porch light on. And usually I text and say, not usually, I've done it once maybe, and just to ask them to, blink on their lights, their porch light, so front light, whatever you want to call it, so I'll know which house it is, because you can't see their street number if you can't see it somewhere else. And that one we actually saw it on the mailbox. And so anyway, I had to walk up there where I couldn't see, and I'm afraid of falling. After I hurt my knee so bad, in 2020, my left knee, I'm afraid of falling at any time. But so he didn't have his, and mine I was using for this, and I didn't want to switch over and all this stuff to get the flashlight working, and he didn't have his with him. I don't know why he did that. That was very unusual of him. And I don't know how he saw. I couldn't see to walk, and I had at least a light on mine. From what I had to do to take a picture. And anyway, taking a picture, it's just black. And so I took, a couple pictures of the mailbox with the street number in case anything come up. But boy, I was vocal at the time. I was like, who does this? Who orders food to be delivered and doesn't have it was so dark. I think it was that it was a woman, had so many trees and bushes, and like I said, it was a maze to get in there, and it was just so dark, not even being able to see the walkway. Okay, but I was saying, who does that? I think I was just kind of like fed up as possible, and I'm usually saying, he usually has the flashlight. If sometimes he doesn't even get out of the SUV. He just points at the road so I can see the trail. Seriously, but yeah. Okay, so anyway, we delivered it, and I'm telling you, it was just like, that was the darkest, and and Adam even said, he doesn't say anything. Neither one of us usually say anything, but he said, really, who does that? Somebody's coming to deliver. It's dark outside, but you don't put your light on outside for them. So they just wanting us to get hurt. Okay, that's just not like either one of us. It's not like me. It's not like him. But it was like, seriously, where's your brain? Think, people. And I'm usually not one that wants to say anything like about a customer, because I don't like all that, the whole us against them thing. This is a person. This isn't an individual one, though. Okay, with that maze and all that stuff in the yard and all that. Okay, come on. But I don't know. I kind of worry about people. It could have just been a mistake. That person just didn't do it. Just didn't that one time, and other times has done it. You know, things like that happen. We're not perfect beings. But overall, it was like, I don't know. And then driving out of there, no street lights, you know, or maybe one. And then somebody was parked when we went back past those trucks. Somebody was parked there, and their lights were on. And we didn't know if they were coming down the road. We couldn't see because they're big Bubba trucks, you know. And the one right there, and the light was coming out from the middle. What are they doing? Just sitting there. I couldn't see if I was going to hit them when I turned the corner, you know. We know they were parked on the curb. I didn't know, couldn't tell. And I've noticed that also driving is that some people will park, like if you're on a road right here and then you're turning, say around this building right here, you're turning. And it doesn't have to be any building right there. But it's dark at night, no street light. And they're going to be parked right there. Isn't that against the rules, the laws, or whatever you call it, of driving? Isn't that actually in the book you can't park within a certain amount, within a certain length on a corner? I think it is, because think of all the accidents that could cause. One time it almost did, my first time to see that. Okay, hopefully I did this right. I had to delete a clip. But anyway, then, you know, today's Friday the 13th, and I was thinking how eerie that was last night. It was, how dark it was, and through like a maze and everything. You know, and Adam runs up there and all this stuff. And I just don't like him doing that at all. But anyway, so I was thinking Friday the 13th, what do you think it's going to be like tonight? You know, for people who, you know, there are people, you know, I was telling Adam, I don't think he really knows this, because I've seen this mainly online, how some people really get into Friday the 13th and Halloween, especially Friday the 13th when it's within October. They get really into it. And I'm a bit worried about, you know, more concerned. I don't know, why am I... Adam touched my things here on my air conditioner. It's all wonky. Anyway. Seriously now. But, you know, I worried. I told him, I said, I'm not going to deliver. I usually don't go anywhere. I say that, but because, you see, I don't believe in it. You know, I don't believe in jinxes and Murphy's Law and, you know, things like that, bad luck, all that. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to push it, because I know how other people think of it. Some other, not all, but some other people, you know, they get into this stuff like that. You know, and some are just kind of people who are just creepy. Like that time, it was in the middle of summer, I think, and there was a truck parked kind of catty corner at a grocery store, and I pulled up, I pulled up, and kind of catty corner to me, and I looked, and I saw, and they had a Jason, kind of like Jason mask hanging from their rearview mirror inside, you know, and to where if you were, you know, driving down the road, and you look up, that's what you're going to see. It had like a cape or something. That's what you're going to see. Do you want to see that in your rearview mirror in a Bubba truck? It was a Bubba truck. Okay. Really? Is that what you want to see? Wouldn't that scare you? Or just think, okay, this person is scary. This person is not normal. It's not funny. Who does it? I mean, think of the people who would be more vulnerable to this doing some harm to them. Do people think about stuff like that? You know, it could be somebody who has, ooh, what is that? Oh, it's a balloon. You know, somebody who has anxiety, panic disorder, has trouble, you know, who gets afraid. Somebody who has had to deal with something that was very scary, very frightening. Okay, and then they look up and they see the Bubba truck, which is going to be traveling very close. And if at nighttime, it's going to have its brights on. Maybe one light and the other one's bright, so they can make up for it. And I've seen this. I'm talking about what I have actually seen. Okay, and to look up and see that, especially if you're on some dark, scary road, you know, and they're trying really, really hard to make you move out of their way because they own the road. or they just want to scare you. I mean, who would do that? Isn't that their goal? Do they want to scare people? I mean, what would be their goal? Think about it. Wrapping this up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.